to illuminate everything that's being seen.
Mm.
It's called a hologram projector
Mm-hmm.
in 3 dimensions. But
Right.
outside of the 3 dimensions, it is the 3 dimensions is what's making the hologram stand out based on the one-dimensional base.
Right.
This is why
Okay.
they keep saying that the earth is flat, because they're looking at the 3 dimensional world from a fourth dimensional mind. In the mind, in the fourth dimension, the earth is an infinite plane.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're seeing it mentally, spiritually, you don't know how to explain to people that everybody is right. It's not only is it a flat earth in the fourth dimension, it's an infinite plane. But in the
Right.
3 dimension, it's a torsion field that gives the illusion of a globe
Mm.
in the
Kind of like
projection and the accumulation of the energy, right?
right. Kind of
And
like in
everybody's,
quantum mechanics when they got superposition, when everything can exist in multiple states simultaneously until we observe it, then we collapse the wave function into a single state. Kind of
yes,
like that, right? Okay.
yeah.
Super.
So when they see in the fourth dimension, they see it in its wave form. But when it
Mm.
collapses to 3 dimension, it becomes the torsion field that's collapsing into the particle.
Right. Okay. So look, before we get too deep, and I know we on time. Man, I wanted to get your, I wanted to get your perspective on deja vu, and sigils as well. But I really want you to peer review this lesson I just did on interdimensional beings. Now, real quick, just a brief on the lesson. Um, Starting off with the living and the dead is in the same space, but separated by dimension. And you was explaining something about to old girl that just left off your panel, about the daemon. You brought it up, which goes into, you feel the lesson. So basically, explaining interdimensional beings don't come from outer space. They come from this space, another dimension. So the daemon is
Thought form.
constellations up above, and as
It's a
above,
thought
so
form.
below.
Yeah,
So go ahead.
it's a thought form, right? It's a persistent thought form, an egregore. It's an agreed upon aberration that has to be corrected. That's the daemon. It's like you brought up sigils. A sigil is like writing an app, a spiritual app to operate from while you going about your day to day life, right?
Okay.
So sigil magic, it can be so powerful because of the way that you put it together. It's your own personal inner dialogue with your own
Yep.
spiritual self,
That's
and
what
you
chaos
can.
magic is. Chaos magic.
Yeah, well, chaos magic is the magic that works to perform the function we using that. If it don't work, we can't use it. That's the principle of chaos magic.
Mm.
All magic applies because all magic is applicable. It's chaotic because there's so many different fields of thought to choose
Right.
from. The
You take your
difficulty
own
coming
individual
in,
approach to it, though.
right? This is what they
Okay.
call the middle pillar exercise. Is Israel regarding Golden Dawn, right?
Okay. So would you have any pushback when I say interdimensional beings are demons? And when I say a demon, the angel and the demon is one and the same, both of them being a daemon. And a daemon ain't necessarily an evil thing. So
So,
the
so
crux of the lesson was interdimensional beings are not extraterrestrials. They're the daemon. Would you have pushback on that, bro? And if
the
so, let me know why I'm in error.
okay. So again, a daemon is a thought form, an egregore, an agreed upon malady, and as long as you use it, it's gonna be there. It doesn't have a physical incarnation, but people with a physical incarnation can use it the same way they can use a sigil.
Mm-hmm.
right?
So is an
That's what,
interdimensional being a thought
no,
form?
it's, no.
Oh,
Interdimensional being is you because you able to live in the 3D. That's one dimension. You think in the 4D. That's fourth
mm,
dimension. You spiritually develop in the 5D. That's fifth dimension. You are multi-dimensional now,
mm-hmm. Okay.
right? So you walking around, you don't even know the dimensions you accessing because you so concentrated on the third. All of your mental faculties is blocking your spiritual senses, what we call psychic abilities. As an airbender, it's the air.
Mm-hmm.
The demon is the air for you because
Mm,
you can use it,
mm.
using the power of your will, your mind, and your own inner energy,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can
That's deep
project
right
your
there.
energy out to affect the air. You be controlling the air the same as you control the demon,
Mm-hmm.
right?
That's deep right there, man. That's
Until
deep. How?
somebody define the demon, he doesn't exist.
Mm,
Now that's different from devil. Devil literally means adversary, opponent, enemy. Anybody can be your devil if they against your highest good,
mm.
right? And that don't make them a bad person. They just the devil for you.
Right.
It's that girl when you was in high school you swore you was in love with, and your mama kept telling you, boy, you ain't in love, you pussy whoop,
Mm-hmm. Your mama
right?
was your demon at that time.
Hey, well, she was being used for your highest good, so she wouldn't have been your demon. She would have been your angelic.
Oh, okay, your angel for sure. But look, I was saying like you would see an angel and a demon is one that's in the same, both being the daemon, meaning the daemon is an entity that's assigned to a person's soul at birth, and it can always be identified by a particular cluster of stars, the constellations. Now, depending on if the daemon
That's
is in
not
the
a
northern
demon.
hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, would determine if it's an angel or a demon.
No, no,
So,
no, no.
but we might see an angel. People may view an angel as, you feel me, punishing a man, and they say, "Yo, that demon attacking that man," and you might see an angel. I mean, a demon giving a man everything he desire, and we say that's that man angel because it's one and the same, right?
Perception.
For sure, for sure.
Perception.
Hey, I'll
Perception
go ahead.
dominates the interpretation of how the mind perceives a thing. Everybody not supposed to see everything the same way, or else we all be fucking confused. Because
Mm-hmm.
we have no pushback paradigm in which to analyze what we're talking about. The problem that we run into most of the time is the definition and the origins of words and original meanings
Mm-hmm.
versus the rhetoric attached to the word in interpretation in modern times when the word is not a modern word,
Right.
right? And it's
But
not,
and we get caught
it's
up on single words, not and missing the point. If I understand the point you was making, I ain't even finna try to debate you on what this word mean. I understand the point. So that's what
right.
communication skills come at, and social and emotional intelligence
Yeah, that's at an all-time low in our society.
for sure, for
Emotional
sure. Hey, so
intelligence, everybody emotional intelligence is 6 years old. The
mm,
intellectual development is 6 years old because the
mm,
start of elementary is when this arrested development is initiated. Kindergarten is 5, preparation for what? The brainwashing to decompress you. What they call that in the Alcoholics Anonymous? That they have to detox you
mm,
from critical thinking and practical problem solving and abstract analysis. So they try to control it by teaching you linear left brain logic. And instead of giving you the ability to critically think, they give you the tools to misanalyze the world around you so that they can have control because they understand what you don't, right?
mm-hmm.
So when we go back to the definitions of what a word means, and then we get to see the dogma attached to the word over time. That's why etymology is important. So as we see the dogma attached, then we get to see how we refine our thought process of what we're looking at. All it is just tightening up your telescope,
Mm. Yeah, that's
zooming in
deep,
your
man.
lens.
Well, shit, we got time for one more, or shit. I know you probably got a lot full of people trying to come up.
Yeah, it's a few. Yeah, it's got. Yeah, let me take somebody else because me and you be on here. You know how we
Man,
do.
hey,
We
for
got a
sure.
history of it.
You already know, man. Much love. I appreciate the energy, bro. Peace to the
All right,
gods, yo.
peace to the gods.
You know it for sure.
High priestess, come on up. Chiefing with the chief.
Greetings, Rod. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on? What you want to talk about?
So I was trying to comment on here where it was saying, dementia, when he was saying time traveling, I call it Alzheimer's. You know how you was just saying something about the definition? Once you put the word or connect whichever word with whatever, I was like, okay, so dimension with dementia. You know how you got people with dementia,
Mhm.
dementia. Then you got people who they wake up thinking they're in the 1960s, but in reality in 2025. But that's called, Alzheimer's because they're traveling in between. That's how I put stuff together in perspective, especially when it comes to amnesia. When I have seizures, I have what they call a relapse of amnesia. Okay, I'm in Miami, and for me, I'm like, okay, it's 10, but in reality, I'm in 2025. But my brain is saying right now I have traveled back to 2020, 2009 or whatever the case may be. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So when you're saying these things, that's how I connect it because I'm like, okay, I'm experiencing this. Not only that, you already know I'm a seer. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And this is how I'm able to predict some of the things that I predict and why the things come to pass because I'm able to somehow do that relapse that happens to me in my seizures or whatever this is that they call seizures, which I'm still trying to get that name, which I wanted to ask you that.
To
What
seize,
is the
so the word seizure comes from the root word seize, which means to capture something. And what it's referring to in the brain when you having a seizure, you having a rapid firing and misfiring of neurons,
Mhm,
which causes an electromagnetic response in your central nervous system.
mhm,
And when it does this, you have a control center at the base of the brain. When it starts misfiring, it shuts off all of your um, regular functions in an attempt to protect your central nervous system from overload, right? While that's happening, you don't have any control now. So the neurons firing is sending electrical currents at an erratic rate throughout your central nervous system, causing your body to, as they say, seize up. To,
mhm,
right? So you have what they call petit mal and grand mal. Petit mal can be so mild as to go through a mild hallucination like experience. But a
mhm.
grand mal, you flopping around like a fish choking on your tongue,
That's right.
right? So
Mhm,
the difference is the amount of current that's being shot through your system at one
yes.
time. The stroke is very similar, but is normally preempted by a rupture in the blood vessel in the brain or an
Mhm,
exploding neuron. which
Okay,
happens from overload.
so explain this. They saying that like right now, recently when I had my seizure, they saying that somehow the seizure stopped the stroke. What does that mean?
So the stroke is the shutting down of the neurons. The
Okay.
seizure is the acceleration of the neurons.
Hmm.
So the seizure kept the ones that was starting to turn off, stroke out, overcharged them like jumping the dead battery
Yes.
to
Yes.
override the symptoms of the stroke. So the stroke
Yes.
never takes place.
Exactly. Because it didn't take place. I kind of got a tap of it, but it was not enough once the seizures tapped in. But this happens to me every time I have a seizure. I wake up, but I'm not in 2025. I'm in a whole different year. And
Right.
that's every time. Every time I have a seizure, like if I have a seizure today, okay, now I'm waking up to 1999. Next time I have a seizure, I'm waking, so I'm thinking, okay, is my body time traveling or doing something in the midst of that? Because why?
So
Or is
look
it
at it like
something
this.
showing me something? Yeah.
So look at your timeline as a roll of film.
Yes.
When you have a seizure, the roll of
Mhm.
film get erratic.
Yes.
So when you reset the film, it might not be on the same place you at.
Yes.
So because the film is digital, you can eventually you'll jump back to the right timeline. But it's just the focus of your attention and concentration that's locked in on the prior timeline. But when you start looking around and realizing that the timeline has already passed, you can come
Yes.
back to the current timeline.
And that's what happens every time. Every time, like in the way that happens with me, I go to sleep. You know how after you have a seizure, they say it makes you exhausted. So I go
Mhm.
to sleep, then I somehow everything regroups itself back to its original form, and then I wake up back on 2025. That's what happens.
It's like
Which
it's
they said.
it's like turning the computer off, turning it back on.
Yeah, so that's and now the last time, the first one that I had before this last one, I stayed with non-memory or going back and forth, trying to understand, okay, where am I? What was going on? What's this? What's that? But that lasted 3 days. I couldn't come back for some reason, and the reason why I felt like I couldn't come back because I needed to see something at the time that I must have not saw then in those years or whatever, and then bring it back.
Okay,
That's
so
that's what I feel.
you being a seer, because you already then posted 1,000 prophecies that came true already.
That's
So
right.
we know you a seer. So what's going on in the psyche of the seer, right?
Yeah. Yes.
In order for you to tell the future, you need something to give you a description that's already there, a frame of reference.
Hmm.
When you put yourself in that situation when you get locked back in the prior timeline, you going through all of your five senses of what you was going through then, and then you using that as the comparison to the current energy you feeling so you can translate it and put it into a prophetic descriptive analysis for 3D people to perceive.
That's right.
So you becoming the translator and you're using your vessel as a jumper ship
That's it.
of energy where you can
That's
flip
right.
back and forth from back then to tell them the energy you reading now, and based on how you feel about what you perceiving, then this is what normally it means. This is how I'm translating it so y'all can understand what I'm sensing.
That's right. That's right.
Right? Once you tell them what you sensing, it comes out in the words because now you translating your spiritual message into the written word in the 3D realm. By putting it in the 2 dimension, you give it a backdrop for other people to use as a frame of reference.
And then that's where that scripture comes in, not going religious here, where it says, and then the word becomes flesh, where when I speak this stuff, then it becomes reality.
Yeah,
The prophecy
but it
becomes
was
its
it was gonna
reality.
happen anyway. You a
Hmm.
warner,
Yes,
right? So you gotta warn people about what to prepare for. But you need the energy already there. That's what you read. The
that's
energy
right.
comes before the event.
Mhm, mhm.
The time that you tell it and the time of the event is called turnaround time.
Yes,
You experience the energy before we physically see the event.
yes,
So now you having to experience the future in the present, you time travel. But now you have to go back to the past to get you a codex so you
mhm,
can put it in words for other people to understand. So
mhm.
your system sees up and override, knock you back into 2010.
That's right, 'cause that's what it does all the time. It just knocks me. Now I'm coming
Now,
back, and I'm
we,
coming stronger with my visions, and I'm seeing this stuff like in
yeah,
real time.
okay,
Like
now,
right now, the
when you go
plague.
back to 2020, 2010, you already lived through that time period.
Yes,
But while you there, you remembering all of the sensations that you felt and you looking at all of the events that happened during the general time frame.
yes,
Now you can come back to 2025 and type it out on Facebook as a warning. This is what this means. So you're using your past to translate what you are perceiving is about to manifest in the 3D in the future.
that's right.
That's actual time travel in real time.
Yes. So that's what I was trying to understand, because when you were explaining that to the brother, I was like, okay, well then this is what this mean here with the dad. So I'm like, yeah, I gotta get him to express this one for me, because I'm seeing, and it's like it's got stronger, it's got more powerful. Like the plagues, I've been warning people, hey, gather some water,
Look,
do this, do that. You know what I'm
look,
saying? And now
you
they're
warned us.
talking about plagues.
Listen, you warned us about all these floods, these
Yes.
volcanoes, these
Mhm.
earthquakes, these
Yes.
floods. Um, you warned us about all that stuff before it happened. In a
Train
reasonable amount
derailment.
of yeah, in the reasonable enough amount of time to know that that shit is tied together. That means you actually see what the fuck you see.
Yes. Yeah, and then that people has tried me because I'm like, well, she can only predict, like she's only earthly rooted. But then I have to go ahead and show them, okay, well, it's not just natural disasters. I see train derailments and boom, that happened. Bridges dropping, all type earthquakes and stuff like that, back to back. Like right now, I spoke about plagues, plaguey waters. It's flesh eating bacteria right here in Florida. There was a person that just got bit by some type of bug out in some lake in Lake Tahoe, and it's a plague. This is stuff that I'm talking about in real time, and it's just happening. You know what I'm saying? So, but I had to get a little bit more knowledge or understanding as to these seizures and why, because I'm like, okay, what does this mean? And I needed that clarification. So I give you thanks. I know you got other people that want to get on here, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But much love. Mary is asleep. If not, she would have been in here looking for her
Oh, I
uncle.
already know.
You know what I'm saying? But listen, it is what it is. I'm still
Hey,
gonna keep doing what I
put
do.
your put your page in the comments so I can pin it because
Uh,
people want to check out your page.
Sacred, secret, sacred.
Just type it in the comments. I'm gonna pin it.
Okay. One of my brothers on here that follows me, he put it already on there. Wait.
Evolve Family Truth.
He put it on there already for me.
Okay. I just pinned it.
But yeah, yeah, so that's what's going on, you know what I'm saying? But to everybody, whoever's listening, just be careful with the waters right now. It's not the best thing to be out there right now in this water, especially with these hurricanes and stuff, you know. But I am High Priestess Christina Vargas. I'm a seer. Rahe is my brother, you know what I'm saying? And I do what I do, you know, for the love of the people, but to, you know, be a part of this whatever it is the spirit got me going doing out here, you feel me? But I love y'all. Y'all take care and Godspeed. Love you, bro.
Okay, sweetie. I'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you. All right, bye.
Sauce V Tone. Come on up, my brother. Let's see what you want to talk about. Chiefing with the chief. While the chief be chiefing.
Yo,
Yo, peace, comrade.
what's up, brother? My name Tone. Nah, I had a crazy experience when I was
What's wrong with your
child.
camera?
Nothing wrong with my camera. I just look crazy right now, folks. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You look at me.
Hold on, let me.
Come on, look crazy. It's my Rod the Madman character.
Hold on. My foot. You can see me right now?
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah. I
I
remember when
love
I
it,
was
man. I love it.
I remember when I was a shorty. I was a kid. I was in Dominican Republic. I can hear you. Um, yeah. So when I was a kid, my grandma had pointed out uh a black butterfly, and I was like, and I was the only one that noticed it inside the house, and she was like, somebody's gonna die. And then when that person had passed away, everybody went to that house, and there was like some type of funeral thing going on. I walked in through the wrong room. I mean, through the wrong door, and then they were saying that they was casting like some type of spell out this woman.
You want me to say it again?
Right? So like when I walked through that door, I had felt like a crazy energy, but I had like skipped it off because I was young. I just went back home and I was like, that shit about nothing. And then like now that I got older and shit, and I started like doing my insight on certain things, I felt like that became the reason why I was the black sheep in my family because everybody in my family believes in God and all that, and it's like part of Dominican tradition and stuff. But I got a lot of questions. Like,
Okay, let's start with the questions. What's the first question?
because it's like repeating that stuff. I don't understand why.
You said you had some questions. I
My
said let's
question
start with.
is, what was the point of me seeing that black butterfly? Because I heard about the black butterfly death and all that stuff.
So listen, you got different cultural phenomena surrounding the butterfly. The butterfly is the quintessential symbol for transformation. The When the auntie or grandma predicted the death, it's because when she seen the butterfly, she got a feeling.
Mm,
The transformation was coming in the form of somebody's physical transition from 3D to higher realms, right? Because when you're not in the three-dimensional body, you're in the higher realms, right? So she got a feeling that told her it was the death of a person, but she could have very well seen the black butterfly, the same black butterfly, had it elicited another feeling, she would have interpreted a different transformation of something.
Mm.
But she matched it with the feeling. It wasn't the butterfly alone. Because in all cultures, the butterfly is the metamorphosis from the caterpillar to the butterfly is the great transformation of the soul.
Okay. Yeah, that was my question, Chief. Thank you. I'm not gonna take up all your time. I'm gonna let you do your thing, all right? I
All
appreciate
right.
it.
Yes, yes. Chief Thing, Triple Man. You next up on Chiefing with the Chief. Come on through. Hey, you must fall asleep watching. Yeah, we don't want to watch nobody sleep. Got the big chief coming through. Next contestant on Chiefing with the Chief.